Well, if you own a Tenere 700, you probably know that the exhaust is prone to bending if you drop it on its right hand side. So today, with the help of Camel ADV, we're putting a new muffler on it and a high mount muffler system. Let's do it. Okay team, so you've seen the videos of the T7, my T7, falling over on its right hand side, and yeah, it's bad, it bends, and if you don't catch it, then the steel muffler rubs on the alloy swing arm and makes a nice big scallop in the swing arm. You've seen the videos all over the internet, mine included, so we're going to do a high mount exhaust, and we're going to put on the Camel ADV high mount system, as well as the muffler. Looking forward to that. So let's look at what's included in the kit from Camel ADV. We've got the big muffler with removable silencer, we've got the pipe, we've got the replacement hanger. This little thing here, this is quite cool. This fits onto the factory hanger, and that is your template on where to cut. We've got a clamp, we've got a heat shroud for the indicators, and we've got a clamp hanger thing for the muffler. Other things you might need: a little bit of black paint. When you cut off the hanger, you want to touch that up so it doesn't rust. You probably don't need a GoPro. Assorted 12, 14 sized thingos, ring spanners. I think that there is an 8. You also need a 6 for the hanger, and a flat bladed screwdriver to get the bushing out of the factory hanger, because you're going to reuse that and pop it in here. The trickiest bit for me is cutting the original hanger. I'm nervous to do that, because then it's no longer a reversible modification. But let's dive into it and see how we go.
Slide the cutting template over the original muffler hanger. Don't put too much pressure on it though, just enough for it to stay in place. And then using a contrasting Sharpie, mark your cut.
Okay, the first thing we need to do is take the old muffler off, so let's dive into that right now.
Using a 6mm Allen and a 14mm socket or ring spanner, remove the mounting hardware, but don't lose it, you're going to need it again.
But the old muffler is done.
Find some old cardboard to protect the tyre and other parts of your bike from flying debris. Now it's time to cut off the old hanger. For this, you could use an angle grinder with cutting disc, a pipe cutter, a hacksaw, or, like I'm doing, a Dremel with a cutting disc. It's a good idea to have some black paint on hand to cover up the bare ends of metal once you've tidied up your cuts.
Alright, I've painted. It's pretty much dry. There's the factory hanger, that's gone. Okay, so this is the front plate of the piece that we're going to be screwing over the ends that I've cut off. These little grub screws, you want to poke them in here, screw them in, because they're only little, and to get the amount of torque on them, you probably just never get that amount of torque on them to drive those little pins into the hangers and make a divot. So what we're going to do is we're going to poke them, we're going to screw them in to the point where they would make the divot, and then we're going to use the big bolts on the other end to kind of drive everything through. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, keep watching the video and all will be revealed. Okay, so these little grub screws are a 3mm Allen, and what you want to do is you want to screw them in to the point where they're just poking through in the scallop here. Okay, so this one's about flush, this one's not. You really want to put some Loctite on these. I haven't got any Loctite right now and I need to ride the bike tomorrow, so I'll end up undoing these again and putting some Loctite on them. So, that goes on the back. This goes on the front. And these 6mm hex bolts go through the back and screw into the front plate. So we've got 3 holes on the back, and there is a torque measurement here as well, which I will pop up on the screen, because before I torque these up, I'll have to go and work out what it is myself. So for the little grub screws, you want to be using red Loctite. For these bigger ones, blue, because you may need to undo them at some stage. This is the rubber bushing that I rescued from the original hanger. We need to poke this through here. A little bit of CRC probably wouldn't be a bad idea. We've got a washer on the other end. Now the original bolt has this this collar on the outside. We don't need that. Put this little metal gasket on there.
Install the metal gasket on the center pipe and push the link pipe over it. Otherwise, you risk pushing the metal gasket too far inside the link pipe and it won't make a proper seal. Keep all your clamps loose until you have the muffler fully installed and you're happy with the placement. Finally, tighten up all the clamps.
Okay, so a little bit of swearing and cursing. I ended up having to remove the rubber from below here to make that fit. Kind of wanted the rubber there, but oh well, that's how it goes. Otherwise, the whole thing is now on. I guess we'll start it up and see how it sounds.
First, this is the silencer with internal pipe installed.
Sounds a little bit like a KTM with this, I'm going to call it an exhaust baffle, I guess. Let's take it out and see how it sounds without it.
Now the silencer plate with no internal pipe. Not sure what the squeaking was on D-cell.
We'll take that out altogether, right?
And now completely open with no silencer. Time for a road test.
Team, well, to test the muffler and the sound of it, I've come away from my house because I have neighbours that I don't want to piss off. But this is how it sounds. It's on a bit of an angle, not as vertical as I had hoped. Okay, so it's not stupidly obnoxious, but it's definitely louder than I expected it to be. I suppose that's what happens when you take the baffle out.
I do like the sound of the factory muffler, but the bendable hanger just had to go. I think this is a nice upgrade. It looks great, and I can't wait to get out on a proper ride and see how it goes.
And there you go, one Camel ADV exhaust high-mount with new muffler installed and ready to go.
For more information and photos, check us out on Instagram or see MotoNZ.com.